So how can you retire early or have a better quality retirement if you live in the United States or the United Kingdom? Well, you could make more money, take on an extra job, spend less, start a business, invest in crypto, or try your luck at Vegas. But seriously, who wants to do that at retirement age? But before we start, please smash that subscribe button and click on that notification bell and like this video, as it really helps to support the channel. Now, have you ever thought about living abroad after retirement? Is this something you would even consider? Well, I went out onto the streets of London to ask people what they thought. I don't know if you're retired or not.
I am retired.
But looking back, if you could retire 5 years earlier and that meant you had to move to another country, would you do that?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. If you could retire 5 years earlier, but it meant you had to move to another country, would you do so?
Yeah, I'd consider it.
You would?
Yeah, because
Okay.
time's precious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. That's all I needed. Cheers.
That's all right. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being so accommodating.
Of course.
Just a quick question. If you could retire 5 years earlier than your planned date, but it meant you had to leave the United States and move to another country, would you consider it?
I would absolutely consider
You
it.
would?
Yeah, I've honestly talked about this before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to get a feel of what people think about the idea of moving abroad, to a cheaper place.
Yeah. I feel like it's.
She's like looking for a reason to
I'm
Really?
I'm looking for a reason to leave the United States. I feel like it is somewhat problematic.
Yeah.
There's so many people moving to Mexico, which I would
Yeah.
love to do.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, I think I would.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Of
I appreciate it.
course. Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
See ya.
Excuse me, Lord Vader. May I ask you one question?
The question I will know. Otherwise, you ask me one question, I don't know it, I don't tell you.
Okay. If you could retire 5 years earlier, but it meant you had to leave England and move to another country, would you do so?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Vader. Thank you. Now, there are many options when it comes to moving abroad, but especially for Americans, Costa Rica, Mexico, Panama and Colombia are popular choices. And for the English, Spain has been an attractive option for many years. In this video, we're going to talk about Portugal as a potential option for retirement abroad. So why would someone leave the USA or England to move to Portugal? Well, there are many compelling reasons. As the wealth gap continues to marginalize the middle class, millions of people around the world are really struggling to get ahead. Retirements based on the cost of living a few years ago are now being thrown out the window due to inflation. And many people have decided to continue working longer than they planned just to be able to afford a comfortable retirement. Many Americans who invested in 401k plans over the years have finally realized that many of the investment options available to them in their retirement plans were actually charging ridiculous management fees that did not result in better performance than just buying a whole market ETF. The consequence of this is that their retirement was up to 50% less than it could have been. As one approaches retirement age, many Americans are concerned about the soaring costs of healthcare. As each year passes, insurance companies are trying to eliminate treatments from their coverage and increase their co-pays to maximize their profits. This has left many retirees wondering if they're going to be able to afford their insurance premiums with the rising cost of food, fuel and rent. For UK residents that have free healthcare, they still have to consider the possibility of care costs as they get older. Many Brits are worried that their home may have to be liquidated to pay for care costs, leaving their children and loved ones with little or no inheritance. But is there another option? The good news is yes. Portugal has been a great contender as a retirement destination for Americans and Brits alike. Portugal is a beautiful country on the Atlantic coast of Europe, and it has a vast array of stunning locations to choose from, including the Silver Coast, the Algarve, and the beautiful island of Madeira off the west coast of Africa. Now let's look at some of the tax and financial benefits of living in Portugal. Portugal has very attractive tax laws to encourage new residents. One big benefit is that Portugal does not charge capital gains taxes on long-term cryptocurrency investments. However, short-term cryptocurrency trading would likely be taxed. This could be a massive bonus if you're sitting on a large unrealized cryptocurrency gain at the moment and want to take some money off the table. Now, I know that cryptocurrencies have gone down tremendously in the last year, but we're talking about the future. We're talking about retirement. One of the most popular tax programs in Portugal is the NHR, or No Habitual Resident Scheme. This program creates a flat tax of 20% on Portugal-sourced income, substantially less than the highest local band of 48%. The NHR scheme also grants preferential tax treatment for a period of 10 years to individuals, foreigners, and citizens who haven't been taxed as a Portuguese resident during the past 5 years. The program also allows the exemption from taxes for the following earned income outside of Portugal: investment income, pension income, and dividend income from companies outside of Portugal. For UK citizens, if you work abroad for at least one full tax year, spend no more than 182 days in the UK in any one tax year, spend no more than 91 days in the UK on average over a 4-year period, you can become a non-UK tax resident, which means you are exempt from UK dividend income tax from a company based in the UK. So if you are on the NHR scheme in Portugal, you will also pay no Portuguese taxes on the dividend income, resulting in totally tax-free dividend income. For Americans and UK citizens, once you become a resident in Portugal, you are eligible for free, good quality healthcare throughout the entire country. Now, private options are also available at extremely affordable rates if you require faster treatment than the free options. If you move to Portugal, you can gain EU citizenship in as little as 5 years, which is one of the fastest routes to citizenship in the whole of Europe. Once you are a Portuguese citizen, you then have the freedom of movement to work or live in the entire EU or the EEA, which is the European Economic Area, which consists of over 30 countries. So if you're a US or UK citizen, how do you get to Portugal? Well, firstly, all US or UK citizens can enter Portugal without a visa for up to 90 days. For those looking to remain in Portugal for a long time, there are two main options: the Golden Visa and the D7 visa. The Golden Visa gives you residency for 5 years in return for investing in the country. As of January the 1st, 2022, Lisbon and Porto and some of the Algarve have been removed from the Golden Visa list. So if you want to gain entry to Portugal using the Golden Visa program by purchasing property, you would have to look further inland or explore islands such as Madeira. The Golden Visa has some huge benefits. First of all, you can beat Brexit if you're British, regain your lost EU rights by acquiring Portuguese citizenship. You can have dual or multiple citizenship, and not every EU country allows this, but Portugal does. Residency in a safe, stable, and politically neutral EU member state. A fast 5-year pathway to be eligible for EU citizenship, which brings you full freedom to live, work, study, and retire across the 30 countries of the EU and the EEA. Free healthcare, access to Portugal's good quality state healthcare system, tax benefits, preferential tax treatment on your worldwide income if you decide to live in Portugal with Portugal's generous NHR tax scheme, and travel visa-free to over 186 countries. You can also travel visa-free across the Schengen zone with your Portuguese residency permit. You also get a flexible minimum stay with your choice to either live in Portugal or just visit for 2 weeks every year. There are 10 ways to obtain a golden visa, which you can see in the chart to the left. The The D7 visa is a popular choice and can be obtained by showing proof of income from outside Portugal, such as pension income, passive income from investments, or employment income from an overseas employer. You may also have to show proof that you have enough savings to support yourself for at least a year. The key idea is that the government wants to be sure that you have sufficient income to support yourself so that you won't be relying on the state for any benefits. If approved for the D7 visa, you'll be able to stay in Portugal for 2 years, after which you will have to reapply for a further 3 years. After a total of 5 years in the country on the D7 visa, you are then eligible to apply for permanent residency or citizenship. So what is it like to live in Portugal? Well, English is widely spoken, but it's always a good idea to make an effort to learn the local language so you can integrate with the population better. When it comes to Portuguese society, it's very liberal and progressive. Abortion is legal in Portugal, and LGBTQ residents are accepted in society without an issue. If you're a foodie, you will not be disappointed. Due to the great climate, many foods that would normally have to be imported can be grown locally, and there's plenty of access to fresh, locally grown produce. Spain is next door to Portugal, so food is sometimes imported from Spain, which reduces the carbon footprint and ensures the food is fresh due to the short relative distance it has to travel. Food in Portugal has to adhere to higher animal welfare and sanitary standards than in the US. Chlorinated chicken and some pesticides that are used in the USA are banned in the EU. Education is of a high standard, and Portugal is considered one of the safest places to live in Europe. US citizens are taxed on their worldwide income, but US citizens normally don't have to pay US taxes when living abroad because of the double taxation treaties that exist between most countries. However, you still have to file your tax returns to the USA each year to stay compliant and pay any taxes to the USA that apply to your specific situation. Okay, that's it for me, but before I go, please smash that subscribe button, click on that notification bell so you can be informed when new videos are released, and like this video if you found it useful. See you in the next video. Adios.